to my channel, Sammy and Luna. Today I'm doing my first official equestrian book review. It's called Ride On, a graphic novel, and it's by Faith Erin Hicks, so full credit to them. I'm going to talk about why this is an underrated masterpiece, and you should definitely consider purchasing, or at least listening to the story. In no way is this sponsored or affiliated with my channel. I just want to talk about how great this book is. So we're going to split up this video into two different sections. The first one, which is now, will be a spoiler-free book review. So I'll just be talking about why it's good, and you should definitely look into it, and there'll be no spoilers. And yeah. And then the second part will be an overview of the book, my personal experience and how I relate to the book, and there will definitely be spoilers there. Just a little disclaimer, I have a script of what I'm supposed to be saying below me on a whiteboard, so if I keep looking down, I'm just reading that. So the first thing I want to talk about is the art. The art is gorgeous. I'll put some pictures on the screen here, but I'll do a quick flip through. The art is such a clean, lovely, beautiful style that's just so pleasing to look at. The characters also have a pleasing look to them where it matches the style of the horse perfectly. The next thing I want to talk about is the characters. The characters are beautifully written. They all have a very unique personality, and you're most definitely going to end up relating to at least one of them. I will admit I did find the character Nori, I'll put her picture up here, a little annoying at first, but she did end up growing on me. The main character, oh my gosh, I can talk for hours about the main character. She is beautifully written. I have no problem whatsoever relating to her. Even if you don't agree with what her choices are in the book, you can really end up seeing what she chooses and why, and you can see that it's the best for her and her mental health. There are multiple other characters, I'll try to put a couple pictures here, and they're all enjoyable, and they're all very authentic and seem like real people. The story is next. I am definitely not going to spoil it too much in this section, like I said. I'll just read the back of the book for you guys, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say for the spoiler-free part of the video. Victoria has always loved horses, but riding in competitions is very high stakes, high stress, and expensive. And even though Victoria's best friend Taylor loves competing, Victoria has lost her taste for it. After a heartbreaking fight with Taylor, Victoria needs a new start, at a new stable. A place where she doesn't have to worry about anything other than riding. No competition, no drama, no friends. Just horses. Edgewood's stable seems ideal. There are plenty of horses to ride, and Victoria is perfectly willing to give the other riders the cold shoulder. But can she truly be happy with no friends? The message of the story, without going into too much detail or spoilers, is it's okay to have other interests. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to not want to compete. Okay, so now we're on to the spoiler part of the review. So if you don't want spoilers, I'd recommend leaving the video now. But if you want to stay, not stopping you. This part of the video is unscripted as well, so it might go a little off topic. But I want to start with some of the scenes that I enjoyed the most. Probably my favorite scene in the entire book is the flashback with Victoria and Taylor when Taylor purchases a horse named King, and she won't let Victoria ride him. Victoria is obviously upset at this, and she's pretty angry at her friend. And her friend states that because Victoria doesn't compete, she doesn't work hard, and she's not experienced enough to ride King. And coming from someone who has chosen not to do competitions in the past, I can really feel that. It's really hard to be seen as someone who doesn't work as hard because I don't want to do horse shows. So I really feel Victoria in the scene, and it's probably the strongest scene in the entire book. There's a lot of emotion, and for me at least, I can deeply relate to this. In the book, Victoria is very good at riding, even though she doesn't have enough money or wants to do horse shows. So when the trainer at the stable lets her ride a new horse named Winter, she's pretty excited until, obviously, when it's time for the schooling show at the stable where her friend Taylor was. She's very upset at this and she does not want to see Taylor again. That's why she moved to Edgewood Stables, to get away from her, because obviously Taylor really hurt her, and that's a completely valid point. But she has to do what's best for Winter, the horse, and take him to the horse show because that's what's best for him to get experience. And she ends up going, and another strong scene is when, after she talks to Taylor at the horse show, when she goes out, she ends up falling off of Winter, and I see that as a very strong scene. And then when she stands up, I'll just read what she says. "I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention to what you needed and I let you down. I'm really sorry. Can we try again? Will you trust me?" Those words are pretty strong, and the fact that she acknowledges that she was focusing more on herself than Winter, that really kind of sticks with me. Also, not to mention, do you guys remember Hobbs? That really looks like Hobbs. I don't know why. I'll put a side-by-side picture. I enjoy the fact that when she was done and she got back on Winter, she pretty much just walked it off, and she understood that she didn't win, she didn't do a great job, but she did what Winter needed and got him experience at a horse show, which was the point. Another strong scene, I would say, is after the horse show when Taylor talks to Victoria, and they both agree that they have separate interests, but it's okay you can still love horses without being a huge competition geek. And Taylor accepts this time, and she walks away. The last scene I want to talk about isn't really a scene. She finds friends at the stable who have similar interests to her. I forgot what it's called, but it's some like alien TV show, like think like Star Trek or Star Wars, something like that. I forgot the name. But she realizes that people at her stable have similar interests, and they end up going to a Renaissance fair and watching the new season of the show together at the end of the book. And what's really strong to me is how the book ends with her and her friends watching the show. It doesn't end with anything horse related. It just ends with them enjoying the show together while they're all dressed up in their cosplay. And that kind of was an important artistic choice from the author, I believe. Ending a horse-related book without something horse-related is a pretty bold move to make, in my opinion. But it really does work here with the message of the book. The message of the book is that you don't have to compete, you can have different interests and still love horses just as much as someone who competes all the time. And I feel like ending it with her hanging out with her friends that she thought she would never make friends with, that's really, really strong. So I recorded an entire, pretty much just personal experience and how my personal experience relates to the book. For some reason it exported terribly. This is what it looks like. So the last part of this video is just going to be me talking about my personal... Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm not making you guys watch that, so I'm just going to restate everything I said. To sum up my personal experience shortly, is I used to have a friend who rode horses also, but she was more interested in competitions and her entire personality was just horses. And that's pretty much the only way she expressed herself. And I was friends with her, and people compared us a lot, such as, she likes horses more than you do. You obviously don't like horses as much. And that's because I had other interests. I enjoy drawing dragons, especially. Here's some pictures of those. And I enjoy reading, writing, all kinds of drawing, and I love horses. And this book really touched me because I never found a book that displayed how I felt about writing as much as this book did. The character ended up cosplaying with her friends and doing something fun like watching a cool TV show with them, and ending the book with something that's not about horses made me feel cool. Like, I'm valid. I love horses just as much as that friend did. And I had a falling out with that friend a couple years ago. That's not really the point of this. This was just more about my experience. I won't talk about that. Okay, I've been kneeling on the floor for like 40 minutes and my knees hurt, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Please check out this book. I'll put the Amazon link in the description of the video if you want to check it out. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Great message, great art, great characters. Of course you can have other opinions, but to me this book really hit deep and personal, and the art was beautiful, and I'm just kind of going in circles, but this book was great. Girl,